All right, so you told us that the three types of doubt include factual, emotional, and volitional. What exactly is factual doubt?
I would say factual doubt, or I sometimes call factual or philosophical doubt. It's one of the heady questions. It might be anything from how old was creation, how many years ago, or could be a real tough one in the Old Testament, like did God command genocide? I'm trying to think of non-gospel type questions. It could be, hey, I've got some questions. I don't think I'm rebelling against God, but do you think I'm close to, I mean, are you worried? Do you think I'm going too far? It could be just a question about the doubt itself. It could be about the reliability of the New Testament, authorship of books. Do miracles happen? Did Jesus do miracles? How about current day miracles? Just factual type questions. And if there's not if it's not morphing into an emotional element, which often happens, those kind of questions are satisfied with straightforward answers that direct to that. Now the guy might go on to another question. You might have 5 questions, or your answer might make them think of another one. But for the most part, when people are just starting, I like to try to keep them on the topic of the gospel, which, whenever the gospel is defined in Scripture, it always encompasses death and resurrection. It usually encompasses the deity, death, and resurrection of Jesus. You go, what about burial? Well, burial is mentioned a number of times, but it's not mentioned other times. I say death and resurrection is the center of the center, and then you put the deity in there, because I don't think any apostle would let you say, oh yeah, he died, he was raised, but he's not deity, he's not the Son of God. They go, that's not it. That's not it. So I'd say deity, death, and resurrection. I would like the factual doubter to stay in those issues, and I would say, because they make they're most important to you, they're most important for eternity, they're more important to your family and your best friends. Why don't we stay on that subject and change to things like genocide, time of creation, what's your view about Jesus' second coming, who wrote the Gospels? I'd rather keep them on the, as I often say, yellow brick road, going down the path of the gospel until we totally solve that one.
Okay, so if someone is solely a factual doubter, you give them evidence, you give them data, and that's generally sufficient.
Right, but if the guy starts saying, how do you know that's true? And I go, well, do you have an objection? If he goes, yeah, what if? Well, then he's still applying factual doubt. But if he goes, no, but a lot of people think they're right. How do you know? What if? What if? And if you morph into a what if question, you're messing with the boundary there to emotional doubt. And sometimes I might stop and say to you, does your doubt hurt? Well, only when and whatever comes after that, that would tell me those two things, what ifing and pain, tell me it already is, or it's morphing into emotional elements.